This classic episode of the Electric Playground is brought to you by PNP Games, your source for everything video games. Support the partners that support Electric Playground. Remember, this episode first aired in 1999.
Trade shows play an important role in the video game industry. It's where everybody gets together and discusses techniques, shows off their latest product, steal each other's game ideas. Now, the first big show of the year was the Game Developers Conference in San Jose, California.
Hey, we're here with Jennifer Pahlka, who has organized the whole GDC this year. It looks like a mini E3. You walk in there and all these giant booths and all the TV screens and monitors. It looks great.
Thanks. I think it looks kind of like a mini E3 too, but I hope people realize that this conference is really about the developers.
I'm with Andy Astor, who is one of the guys from Planet Moon. What are you doing here?
Mostly to listen in on all the different seminars, conferences going on. But it's a networking thing just as much as a learning thing.
I'm here with Will and John Botti, the Botti brothers who run Black Ops, and they're working on Knockout Kings for the N64. Who's your favorite?
Sugar Ray Leonard. Oh, I'd have to go with Oscar De La Hoya, man. That's totally wrong.
I'm on your side.
No, actually, I think Sugar Ray is better. He actually came to the office we were playing.
You want to take it on camera?
Yeah. No,
Wait.
We are here with Chris Samson talking about what?
Smash Brothers.
This is what the game looks like, right?
Very close, only more in three-dimensional simulated environment.
What's it like running a company at 24 years old?
It's really exciting, and because we're able to deliver content and accountability that's on par with anyone else in the industry right now, I think that we probably leave people with a stronger impression than we would have if we were an older, more established group.
What can you tell me about Quake 3?
We're kind of redefining the whole first-person shooter game. Fast-paced, furious. Deathmatch is going to be like a household name.
I'm delighted that I'm able to share our technology with you. So without further ado, let me introduce to you the next generation PlayStation technology. Focusing in on the CPU core and its co-processors, the world's first true 128-bit CPU, combined to a very powerful graphics chip called the GS, graphics synthesizer, a sound chip called SPU2, an I/O processor, and a DVD CD-ROM disk system. Both DVD and CD is supported by our new technology.
The Electric Playground is here at the 1999 Spotlight Awards.
This year's crop of games are absolutely the best ever, and we want to start celebrating them.
The winner is Bowler's Gate.
Best sports tale, NFL Blitz.
We're going to be seeing these guys a lot tonight. Half-Life. So having Shigeru Miyamoto here, this is actually that's pretty huge. This is just the first time he's talked in America. I've never known him to be here before.
And he's known to be sort of a shy person, and if anybody saw him at the Spotlight Awards last night accepting his a couple of awards, he's got a great sense of humor. He's obviously a really kind, sweet person, and he's a little touch of shyness there. So I would think this is one of the few times he's spoken.
First of all, I want to thank you, Mr. Miyamoto, on behalf of all the game players of the world, for all the games you've given us and all the fun you've given us over the years. How many video game titles have you worked on?
Sure, I have just counted them all. I made 64 games by now, including the games which I worked as a producer.
Got to ask you about your competitors. What are those games like? What do you think of those?
I think they're good games, but I think if you want basketball, the real game of basketball, the only way you're going to get it is with Kobe Bryant, courtside. You're going to say, wow, I mean, am I watching an NBA game or am I playing a game?
So I'm here with the winners of the Independent Games Festival, Singularity Software, and they've just won $10,000. How old are you guys?
Well, we started this project in high school, and now we're all 18.
Everybody wants to know about Final Fantasy VIII. It was a huge launch in Japan. Tell us about it.
Yeah. Well, sold 2.5 million copies the first day, which I think set a new record.
2.5 million?
Yeah.
I think they were lined up around the block.
Thank you very much, Jennifer.
Thank you. That was great. Thanks for having me.
Group hug.
Okay, group hug.
Group hug, huddle.
Bring out the big stuff. Pull! See, boys? It's not the size of your howitzer. It's what you do with it.
Introducing Tiny Tank, the tiny tank with the big attitude.
Pull!
PlayStation.
Oh, sorry. I'm just finishing lunch. And also enjoying these promotional VHS tapes from Nintendo Power, chock full of information on some great upcoming games. Are we in the golden age of video game coverage and we don't even know it? Now, you're already here watching the Electric Playground Classics, so I know that seeing behind the scenes of the video game industry is important to you. It's also important to everyone who enjoys games. Documenting these publishers, developers, and dreamers with such open access is imperative to building a base of respect for the hard work that goes into most every video game we plug into our consoles or PC. The story of video games is relatively young, and thankfully the Electric Playground was there to record its burgeoning history in the 90s and beyond. P&P Games is proud to present EP Classic every Saturday morning. Gunstar Heroes and Gamer Broccoli, Lunch of Champions.
Now, if you thought the Game Developers Conference was cool, wait until you check out E3 in Los Angeles, because it's about 7 times bigger.
I'm here at Rockstar Games, and I'm talking to Jamie King, the producer of Thrasher, Skate and Destroy.
Rather than do a game based on vert, we wanted to do a true street skating game. Feels great, you're in control of the tricks. It's not, you don't just press a button and watch an animation, you really can go from a kickflip to a grind to a kickflip.
Physics is based on the real world, or is it more arcade?
It's based on the real world, and it's called skeletal dynamics.
Ooh, get that, skeletal dynamics.
It's a very unforgiving environment. If you hit a fire hydrant, you're going to fall over. If you hit a lamppost, you're going to bounce off it.
You break bones?
You do break bones, and one of the multiplayer aspects will be how badly can you break your bones.
I'm here with James, who's a producer of this cool game called Revolt. Let's check it out. Basically, your little RC cars.
13 tracks set over 7 different environments, as well as you'll have those tracks reversed and mirrored, so all together it comes out to like 39 tracks. Fireworks, bottle rockets, water balloons, oil slicks, you know, and also some cool electro pulse weapons. This is one of the coolest weapons. This is the tag weapon. Yeah. So you see the antennas count down, it turns into a fuse. So unless I touch somebody else, I'm going to blow up. Which is just going to happen now. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks. Okay. Hey, Zoe, what do you think?
It's wild.
Wow, you like it?
Yeah.
Zoe likes it. It's a hit.
I'm here with Brian Hartman from Nintendo. We're here to talk about some of the brand new games that Nintendo and Rare put together for $19.99. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing very well, very well. You know, I get to sit here and play games.
Jet Force Gemini, man. You gotta tell me about this game. It looks killer.
Man, this game is just bad. You gotta go through a bunch of stages, blow up a lot of enemies. The Mizar. The Mizar are bad people.
Mizar are bad.
Mizar are bad.
They're just bad.
They're bad people.
I'm looking at Cartman in a cart.
South Park Rally basically takes all the fun of the car-style games and puts it into the South Park world. So you have Cartman driving around in his police tricycle with Respect My Authority, Chef drives around in his wagon, and you have Death driving around in a big hearse.
All kind of crazy, spooky stuff is going to happen.
I'm here with Simon Phipps, the senior designer of Shadow Man. How you doing?
Fine, thank you very much, Zoe.
Did I get your name right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, indeed.
Have you been screaming a lot?
Yeah.
I've been screaming because this is a scary game.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's Donkey Kong, and he's back with 4 friends. He's got Diddy, he's got Chunky, he's got Tiny, he's got Chunky Kong. Chunky just gets big, you know?
Are you talking Chunky Kong? Is that the name?
Chunky Kong, he's the man.
You were the lead programmer on the project, correct?
Oh, yeah, sure.
How are you guys doing Resident Evil on the Game Boy? Tell me how that's happening.
It's going to be the entire original Resident Evil game in full 3D on the Game Boy Color.
The entire Resident Evil game?
Original Resident Evil game.
How? How are you guys being able to do that?
You know, I wish I knew.
It's amazing what you've done with all these polygons.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
War is not black and white, it is green and tan!
That's damn good. How come you didn't do the voice?
We've hired some of Hollywood's best voice talent. We've got one of the guys that did almost every character in Small Soldiers. He's the voice of Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. So this guy's...
You got the voice of Winnie the Pooh as a soldier.
I definitely want to go on record as saying that we won't be blowing up Winnie the Pooh. We don't want them coming after us.
That Pooh is a nasty man. You don't want to get him back.
A Tigger kick your too.
You can take the transfer pack, stick it in your controller, and use the Game Boy camera to take a picture of your face and map it on one of your characters.
Get out of here.
You can actually be the character you play with.
I want to see her face in the game, not my own.
Well, this right here is Lupus.
Lupus, a dog.
He's the dog. This right here is Vila.
Vila, 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 Vila.
Vila, you got it. And this right here, this is Juno. You actually have to use his special abilities to get through. Like Juno, he can go through fire because he's red, and Vila can go through water because she's blue, and Lupus, he can float and hover.
Can you go through water?
Basically, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But see, I'm multitasking. I can go through fire too.
There's a new rock star in town.
PlayStation.
With game legend John Romero. He's set up his own studio now called Iron Storm in Dallas, Texas, and is working on 3 games. One of them, your baby, Daikatana. Why is Daikatana different from Half-Life, Quake? What makes it so special?
Daikatana has 4 different environments, completely different environments. Music matches all the environments. You got all the weapons, all the monsters, graphics, you know, environmental effects, everything is done in all these different episodes, and you'll feel like you just played 4 games and you're finished with it.
I am here with a good friend, Cliff. Let's talk about Unreal Tournament. That's what you're working on now.
Yes, Unreal Tournament is like Mortal Kombat with teams and guns. You do not need an internet connection to play the game.
What?
Oh, yeah, everybody's tagged. This thing is a multiplayer-only game.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
It's a crock. You pick your character, you play against other combatants in different arenas. There's all sorts of team games, great AI. It's a great single-player game as well.
Hey, I'm with Wayne Klein, who is the project manager on the new Indiana Jones game. There's got to be like global frenzy and tons of worldwide fans for Indiana Jones. So you guys get email from everywhere.
There's a lot of fan sites already up waiting for the game.
Yeah.
We've already sort of explained what the story is, and a lot of people are just waiting for it and very excited for it.
And what are we going to be doing in this new Indiana Jones adventure?
Indy starts out the game as just wanting to go back to being an archaeologist, but he meets up with Sophia Hapgood, who talks him back into adventuring. This time around, he's going against the Russians, who are going towards the Tower of Babel. The Infernal Machine, which is the name of the story, has the ability to open up a rift between our world and another world called the Ethereum. And Indy's got to collect a bunch of machine parts, get the machine put back together, and see what he can do to stop the badness. Mom, it's going to be a great game.
The first thing I wanted to do when I came to Sega was to bring back Sega Sports.
Now, a chance to get out on the show floor and take a look at some of the competition?
I think that Blitz falls into a very different category than most NFL sim games, but I think that NFL 2000 looks really good on the Dreamcast.
It looks a little bit like sort of maybe 1080 meets Wipeout or something.
There's a few things that you can't really do in any of the games. You can't do them in Wipeout, you can't do them in 1080. Trick style fills the gap.
The goal right now is to have Power Stone around launch, and then Marvel Capcom shortly after.
And you guys are also bringing out a Resident Evil game for the Dreamcast, so it sounds like Capcom is really supporting Sega on this new machine.
In Japan, a little while back, Capcom announced they were going to do a title of month for the Dreamcast.
I'm pretty amazed, actually. I wasn't expecting so many screens and so many playable games. That's really impressive.
It's about content.
Give us your best macho Hydro Thunder.
Hydro Thunder.
Hydro Thunder.
Hydro Thunder.
I'm a huge fan of these wave racing type games. Is this the best one ever?
Definitely. The Newtonian physics of Hydro.
What was that? That was a big word.
The Newtonian physics. Our
Newtonian. Spell that word.
Newtonian.
Oh, like Newton.
Yes.
Sir Isaac Newton.
Yes. Our.
I saw him on Schoolhouse Rock.
Tokyo Highway Racer, which is a racing game, and it's amazing. And we have a game called Arrow Wings.
Is it more of a flight sim or a shoot everything?
You know what it is? It's more about the love of flying. You don't shoot anything.
Oh, what kind of game is that?
What we wanted to do with Ready to Rumble Boxing was we were trying to do a game that was more over the top.
Yep.
You know, not just one of them simulation boxing games, because you get one of those like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out or something. Before you know it, Mike Tyson's in jail.
What's your favorite thing about E3?
All the girls, I guess.
But you guys have all the girls.
That's true. I think we learned our lesson last year, and we...
You stocked up on girls.
Good schoolgirls watch Electric Playground. Stay tuned.
Think 360 degrees of free-range motion and complete weightlessness won't affect your ability to shoot straight? Introducing Omega Boost, a stomach-turning, gravity-defying shooting game.
Are you all right, officer?
Yeah, good.
PlayStation.
Lee from PMP Games here. What do you think buying video games is going to be like in the year 2020? Someday, you might not even have to leave your home to purchase video games. Someday, you might not be able to hold the games you purchase in your hands either. Hey! Whether you can visit us at one of our retail locations in Winnipeg or online at pmpgamesonline.com, we appreciate your support as we support Victor and the Electric Playground Classic. Another classic episode of EP is coming up next week, so play it loud and play forever.
Now, usually when you think of Las Vegas, you think of gambling, showgirls, white tigers, Elvis, Nicolas Cage, bachelor parties. This year, it's the home of the Classic Gaming Exposition. Check it out.
We rolling? I'm with Alan Yu, one of the founders of the Game Developer Conference, and you're here at the CGE. Why are you here?
So talk to the old timers, hang out, you know, keep grounded.
Who are you most excited to meet while you're here?
You know, I've never met Rob Fuller.
I like Night Driver, and I figured you could do it because it was 12 dots. And so if I can make 12 dots move, I can make Night Driver. So I took 9 months of my life and I made my first game.
I'm here with Todd Fry, who developed a program, Pac-Man, for the 2600.
Very proud of Pac-Man. I use the rationale that, hey, they're ghosts. They flicker, right? I mean, get a grip.
What do you guys think of the Classic Gaming Expo? Why is it important to the video game industry?
Well, it was a surprise to me that a lot of the games have come back, but when you see it in hindsight, it's fun to play now as they were back then. So with great games, you expect people will still like them.
When I went back and looked at some of our older games, I really had to prepare myself, or I wasn't prepared for looking at the graphics. First thing it goes, oh, you get by that initial shock of the low-res graphics, and the games are really fun, and people recognize it, and I think that's really exciting.
I got a call, it was like a Tuesday morning, and Ray Kazar's on the phone. He goes, hey, Howard. And I go, hey, Ray, what are you going to do? So he goes, can you do E.T. in 6 weeks? And I said to him, I said, sure, Ray, provided we reach the right deal.
This was done by an enthusiast who
loved Pac-Man, but was disappointed when he played VCS Pac-Man when he was a kid.
All I can say is, wow, this is really quite an amazing Pac-Man job for the 2600. Tell us a bit of how you decided to make Pac-Man and what you went through.
We programmed it with my friend Igor, but he didn't want to program all the games. So after making the maze, he gave me his code, and I make all the animation.
Over here we have hobby developer Carl Forehand of Songbird Productions. He's made some new Lynx games, as well as selling old ones, as you can see.
Here in 1999, there's been probably half a dozen games that have come out for Lynx, which is pretty impressive for an older system that's not really supported anymore.
Not until the web came along did the opportunity to present itself to put a website out there and at least initially show people whom I wanted to what really went on. If you go to my website, you can see my whole history. You see pictures of dozens of products I've done, hundreds of patents I have. You can access any of them. It's such a beautiful way to write a resume.
We were having a good time. We were enjoying it. We felt we had the recognition. We felt we had the right compensation. I mean, it was a great time.
This was the golden era of video games. One person could program an entire video game in 3 months.
When I came to Atari, I was about 28 years old, and I was the old man of Atari. I mean, only one or two people were older than me there.
You hire real bright people, give them freedom, and they'll make some amazing things.
I loved Q*bert and Scramble.
I was really heavy into Robotron. Breakout was one of my all-time favorite games.
Space Invaders was the golden age of the VCS.
I loved Missile Command.
What I liked most about Missile Command was the approximation. You didn't have to aim exactly. Instead, it was the gestalt of throwing the cursor across the screen.
Missile Command was Atari's best?
Yeah, that's an opinion.
Did you have any favorite video games?
Oh, gosh.
The right answer today is Missile Command, by the way.
Missile Command, of course.
Since we were so graphically limited, all we had was gameplay. We had to give good game experience, or there was nothing.
What are we going to talk about today, Tommy?
Why are you talking like that?
Because I think we're going to talk about some NFL games. What are we going to talk about today?
Out of all the games we played, this one was by far the worst. It is a little better than last year's.
It is.
Which last year's was even worse.
It looks good. The cool thing about the game is all the vocal stuff by the NFL pros that are in it. They got all these sound bites.
Yeah, that's cool.
With all these players, and they had fun. The gameplay was really weird. Like if you throw a long pass to a receiver, all the defenders around him will just stop moving. The plus side, the graphics look good. The pictures will look great on the back of the box, but don't be fooled.
Bottom line is it was simple and fun, and I like simple and fun games. You know, I give it a 5.5.
I'm in that ballpark too. I'd give it a 5. Go for Blitz instead.
Speaking of Blitz, let's talk about Blitz.
Blitz 2000, man. You know what I think about Blitz? It's influenced the entire sports game genre. Like every sports game you see now has Blitz-style interface. They've got all the user command interface, so that when you enter your name, all your records are saved, and all that stuff is there. And
Blitz is, I think, the best football game of the last couple of years. Blitz 2000 now, it's on N64, it's on PlayStation, and Dreamcast.
Yeah.
My personal favorite one is the N64 version.
Very good.
Because of the stick, and it's easy to control the turbo button. You pick the direction, you push the button, done.
A couple of the new things with Blitz 2000 that they added this year is four-player support. They have an on-fire mode, so if the same receiver catches it 3 times in a row, you get juice turbo, and you can run faster. There's also icon passing.
Now the Dreamcast version.
Dreamcast version is wicked. It looks amazing, 60 frames per second. Problem with it, though, the controller is just not right for the game. What would you give the Dreamcast version of Blitz 2000?
Yeah, I give it about an 8.
I'd give it about a 9 on the Dreamcast. I'd give the N64 version of Blitz 2000 8.5.
8.5?
Yeah, what would you give it?
I give that a 9 just on sheer fun. If I had my choice to play any football game this year, it would be Blitz 2000 on the N64.
Okay, and what about the PlayStation version? I thought the PlayStation version had the most advances from the previous year's game. I'd give it a 10 out of 10.
What? It needs a lot of work. I give it a 7.5.
NFL Game Day for the PlayStation. What do you think of this one?
I would say that probably the strong point of this game was the way you picked your plays was the most readable, and I'm not saying it's great. I'm just saying it's better.
There's 1,200 plays in this game. If you want the extras, Game Day's got it. The other cool thing about it is the telestrator. A cool play goes down, and all of a sudden we pop up to the commentary guy, and he does a play-by-play and draws chalk marks over the play that you just did.
That was cool.
I'd give Game Day 2000 an 8.5 on the PlayStation.
I get a 7.
7? Okay. Now Madden 2000.
It's a good game. It's like I said, if you're looking for a realistic game on the PlayStation, this is the one to get this year.
EA's got the details down. It's a simulation. It's a really balanced, elegant game. I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10 for the PlayStation.
I'm at 7.5.
NFL 2K for the Sega Dreamcast.
Okay,
What do you think?
NFL 2K is the best looking football game ever. It's the best motion capture. Wait till you see the tackles and the wraparounds in this. The in-between spots when the guys are going back to the huddle and they're all, my biggest problem, the digital pad and the analog stick do not do the same thing. If I want to control my quarterback with the digital pad, guess what? I can't. I have to use the analog stick to move my quarterback around. It doesn't work.
It's a beautiful looking game. This thing is absolutely fluid. The commentary is unbelievable. They've got 2 guys in the booth.
It's the best commentary for football.
Oh, it's incredible. You don't hear them repeating anything. They just keep going on, and it's totally timed well to what happens on the field. But the thing that takes this game to a new level is the totally imaginative camera angles. If, a wicked tackle goes down, all of a sudden, bam, we're right beside the player.
I give it an 8 overall.
An 8, wow.
Yeah.
No, I think you're being way too hard on it. The Dreamcast has proven itself as a sports game machine. Definitely one to pick up. I'd give it my highest recommendation, 9.5 out of 10.
I just
definitely pick it up.
Don't understand your grading system.
Hey, PlayStation fans, buy a copy of NFL Game Day 2000 and get a free starter NFL baseball cap and a chance to win 2 free tickets to Super Bowl 34 in Atlanta.
As you can see, we had a pretty busy day. I'll see you in 7. Boy, did I get ripped off.
Production assistance for Electric Playground is provided by Sony Computer Entertainment, publishers of Jammer Lammy, Activision, publishers of Battlezone 2, and Computech Media, publishers of Insight Video Gaming, Insight PC Gaming, and InsightGames.com. Watch for the premiere issues of the magazines coming October 26th. This classic episode of the Electric Playground was brought to you by P&P Games, your source for everything video games. Support the partners that support the Electric Playground. Thanks for watching, and play forever.